Now at 7, a national shutdown is planned for today, with some Americans pledging to not work, spend, or attend school in protest of ICE operations. Coming up, we have the latest details on local impacts.
Plus, the Trump administration has dropped a lawsuit targeting schools for DEI initiatives. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live with a reaction from one local university.
And believe it or not, all-you-can-eat buffets are making a surprising comeback. We're going to tell you why coming up at 7:15. Sunrise streaming live at 7 starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Happy Friday, everyone. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by with a look at our weather and traffic.
Am I the only buffet person? Anybody else?
Listen, I like a good buffet.
I didn't know that was a thing outside of Vegas.
I miss the old school Pizza Hut buffets. Remember?
With the lamb?
Yeah,
with the green
yeah.
lamb?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Chris McGinnis is like, I don't want people around my food.
That's, yes, times 1,000.
Okay. All right, here's our radar satellite this morning. Happy Friday to you. Cloudiness, we've got rain now marching inland along parts of the Oregon coast and around all of the Washington coast. You can see it right here. The models are still insistent that Portland is dry for 2 more hours and then the rain starts to move in. We do have clouds over the city. You can see them there from the Wells Fargo building. It's 48. Very comfortable out again this morning. Not much wind unless you're out near the opening of the gorge. Strato's been seeing east winds gusting to about 30. So we've got the rain coming in. It's going to break up into scattered showers quickly, by the way, as it moves inland. 50 at noon and about 52 for you at 5 p.m. Here's Mr. McGinnis.
You're looking for trouble all morning long, and the good news for you is I haven't found any, which means you are void of excuses to be late to work or school this morning. We do have a little bit of slowing on the west side, inbound Sunset, tapping the brakes a bit, coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel. That's the one little orange line that we've got there, about 33 miles an hour coming in from the zoo to the tunnel. This is I-5 south of town near Breeze Hill. Southbound traffic cruising along just fine. And over on the west side, or not west side, east side, there's your Banfield traffic right now coming towards the I-5 split. That's in pretty good shape as well. Guys, so far, no crashes, no unexpected freeway delays just yet.
Thank you, Chris. First to breaking news this morning. One man has been taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries after police say he was shot on a MAX train. It happened just after 1 o'clock on Northeast 122nd Avenue and East Burnside Street. Officers say they have detained a man and that the two involved knew each other. Expect some disruptions to MAX train service in the area as the investigation continues. We'll bring you updates as we learn more. A nationwide strike is planned for today. It's in protest of immigration enforcement and what some are calling violence associated with ICE and their operations.
The strike is calling on people to skip work, shopping, and school. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live from Northwest Portland with what public school officials and local businesses are saying.
Yeah, good morning, Matthew. China activists are calling on Americans to participate in the nationwide shutdown. Now, the strike is aimed at creating an economic blackout in protest of ICE operations in cities like Portland and Chicago. Now, today's strikes and protests also follow the recent deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy in Minneapolis. The website nationalshutdown.org lists actions nationwide, ranging from skipping work and school to avoiding shopping and boycotting ICE funding. Now, Portland Public Schools sent out a letter telling families classes will continue as usual today, stressing safety as a top priority. Students joining walkouts are urged to stay on campus with chaperones, and parents will be notified if they leave. Now, several Portland businesses also plan to close temporarily in solidarity.
There are bigger things at play here and bigger questions than like my business. It's just about human dignity.
Now, at least half a dozen businesses in the Portland area have confirmed with KGW they do plan to close their doors today. There are other businesses who say they will stay open, but a portion of their sales today they will donate to immigration groups. We have a full list of those businesses. You can find it right now on KGW.com. Back to you.
Reporting live this morning, Corey Johnson, thank you. And coming up later this half hour, we have a look at the national side of things as Congress continues to work toward a resolution that will avoid a government shutdown. Why a partial shutdown this weekend may be unavoidable, coming up at 7:23.
Here in the Northwest, a former Customs and Border Protection Commissioner is accusing federal agents of using unnecessary force against protesters at Portland's ICE building. An ACLU-backed lawsuit accuses federal agents of excessive force during Portland protests. Plaintiffs seek a court order limiting tear gas and other munitions near the city's ICE facility. A recent review found a, quote, pervasive pattern of force violating DHS policies, such as failing to warn before acting and misusing crowd control weapons. The case also includes testimony from a Vietnam veteran and his wife, both injured at a October protest.
They've never seen a real war zone, the people that are, if you will, protecting it. But they're more of a problem than a solution.
The federal government has not responded to the lawsuit filed in November, but we could learn more at a status conference today.
The Trump administration has dropped an appeal to cut funding to schools it accused of DEI practices.
Now, one school that drew the attention of the Trump administration last year was Portland State. That's where we find Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz. So, Thomas, what's PSU's reaction to all of this?
Guys, Portland State has long maintained that they are following rules and are in compliance around diversity, equity, and inclusion. In a statement, a spokesperson for PSU told us, quote, PSU has always operated within the law. We were already in compliance, and our funding was not at risk. Last year, the vice president of global diversity and inclusion at PSU told us the university was in compliance with a 2023 Supreme Court decision that made it illegal to use a student's race as a factor in college admissions. Still, they were a target of the Trump administration last year when the administration investigated Portland State for alleged anti-Semitism. The University of Oregon also drew the ire of the Trump administration. Last March, the Department of Education opened an investigation into the U of O over alleged race discrimination. They also threatened to cut federal funding. We reached out to the University of Oregon for their response. We didn't hear back, though in a statement, a Department of Education spokesperson tells us in part, quote, the department has full authority to target impermissible DEI initiatives that discriminate on the basis of race, color, or national origin. Adding, the Office for Civil Rights will continue to vigorously enforce Title VI to protect all students and hold violators accountable. Still, this decision comes after a federal judge ruled against the Trump administration in this push to prevent DEI initiatives, saying that it violated the First Amendment. Guys?
All right, Thomas Schultz reporting live. Thank you, Thomas. In Washington, lawmakers are discussing a bill that would shorten the work week from 40 hours to 32. Those against it say it will likely increase costs for business owners. On the other hand, San Juan County has become the first in the state to implement a 32-hour work week and say it's working. The county experimented with the concept for 2 years with its workers before making it official, and it says that it has saved taxpayers millions.
In Clackamas County, the Colton School District has canceled school for Monday due to a spike in illness. This is just one of several districts dealing with staff and students out due to cold and flu. Corbett rescheduled their winter formal dance and home basketball games that were scheduled for today.
Your time now is 7:08, taking a live look from our Vancouver waterfront sky cam. Very blue.
Very blue, yes.
Very blue out there, Rod. So this weekend, for people who need to mow their lawn, if they do that, because you do that.
I do not recall a winter, I really don't, where I've had to literally mow my yard about every 3 weeks. It's never stopped. I mowed it last week because we've had all these 50-degree days. And again, December was the warmest you've ever seen. Now, we're getting water on the lawn today. Here it comes. You can see what's steady rain now gathering along the Oregon coast. It's been raining for a while up into western Washington. We have the clouds, but we are dry here inland so far. And good visibility. The cloud deck's high. You can see Jefferson really pretty shot looking from our Timberline Lodge down to the south. By the way, Timberline did pick up 4 inches total of snow yesterday, above freezing though right now, 38 degrees. Here's a look at the camera that China and Matthew just showed you. Temperature is 46 degrees from the springs at the waterfront in Vancouver. So we are generally cloudy. We're mild for this time of the morning, 42 in Hillsborough, one of the cooler mornings. And we are dry. Now it looks like there's 44 in Salem. It looks like we will be dry through the tick of 9 o'clock anyway. So that gets us through the commute with pretty good weather conditions this morning out the door. Raining currently starting up at the coast. You folks will see a shower threat linger today, but most of the rain you get is what's moving in right now. Temperatures in the 50s. 50s up and down I-5 as well. Generally dry but cloudy in central Oregon. And this is going to be warm today. Sun River hits 50, Madras 54, 40s with some thinning cloud cover out east Here's the 7-day. So we have some rain coming in, let's say by 10 o'clock this morning. Not a ton of rain, but a scattered shower threat will linger. Tomorrow's all dry. It still looks like we could hit 60 tomorrow. Partly sunny skies, really warm. Record 62, by the way, for the date. And then Sunday, showers, 51. The rain chance starts early morning. And then you've got that dry weather we're still tracking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Here is Chris McGinnis.
That's unbelievably dry. All right, let's get you out the door, and your Friday morning commute looks pretty good. There's the Interstate Bridge, I-5 southbound taillights there coming out of Clark County, zipping right along. We'll take you to another bridge here in Bridgetown. We'll take you down to Oregon City and Westland, I-205 there, headlights there headed northbound out of Westland. That looks pretty good as well. And one last check on the freeway system. Zooming into the Banfield, Interstate 84 out near 82nd Avenue. This is 82nd Avenue, so that down there is I-84, and that is zipping right along. Guys, no crashes, no unexpected freeway delays just yet.
Thank you, Chris.
At Old Country Buffet, kids always get what they want because they get it themselves.
From steaks to shrimp, all you can eat is cool again. Still to come on Sunrise, why Americans are heading back to the buffets. Don't go anywhere. Sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Buffet bars were once a fixture of American dining, from family favorites to Vegas showstoppers. But after the pandemic, many wondered if all-you-can-eat era was over.
I really enjoyed a good buffet, but as more people look for ways to get more value and variety out of their dollar, the all-you-can-eat buffet is making a surprising comeback. NBC's Brian Chung explains.
Buffet bars have offered a family feast for generations.
At Old Country Buffet, kids always get what they want because they get it themselves.
From Vegas high rollers
at Excalibur, setting the standard of excellence in buffet dining,
to hungry, budget-conscious diners all across the country.
Sizzler for the 90s, exactly what America wants.
And now, after a pandemic decline and a change in appetite, Americans are once again rushing back to the buffet. Now, a $700 billion industry.
How can you not find anything you like with 150 choices?
According to a 2026 survey from Yelp, searches for all-you-can-eat buffet near me jumped over 250% in 2025, bringing big business back to buffet chains like Golden Corral, which saw 15% same-store sales growth in the last 16 months.
I love buffets.
It just brings bad memories.
There's the nostalgia factor.
Well, then you should go to Golden Corral.
But there's also the bang for the buck.
A wide variety of food, and it's not expensive.
According to Data Essential, a typical buffet meal costs between $14 and $35.
Consumers really like getting a good deal for their money.
It's not just those traditional buffet bars and heat lamps getting a boost. Yelp also found searches for all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue and hot pot are surging an eye-popping 591%, pointing diners to places like fast-growing chain K-Pot.
All-you-can-eat restaurants also taking on a DIY component, where the food keeps coming as long as you're still willing to keep grilling. Where else could you get French fries next to enoki mushrooms and pork
seafood.
belly?
Exactly.
Yeah.
From hot plate to grill top to familiar buffet staples, consumers say the flexibility and value can't be beat.
If you're going out to eat fewer times a week, when you go out, you want to make it count.
Value and volume, a recipe that nearly everyone can agree on.
I'll come once a week, honestly.
Once a week?
Once a week.
I think even beyond the value, I'm always like the person that struggles to decide what they want at a restaurant. So this gives you a little variety. You can get a little bit of everything.
You know what I really do miss? It's similar but not the same. When I was a kid, this would have been 60s into the 70s, a lot of restaurants, nice steakhouses, what have you, had a complete salad bar. Not a buffet, but just a complete salad bar.
Yeah.
Often they had the big cheese block, you could carve off your own hunk of cheese. And I really miss that because I love a salad bar. And
you can make your own.
unless you go to the grocery stores that offer that, you just don't see them.
There was a restaurant we used to go to called Max and Irma. Do they have those out here? Max and Irma's. They had like a big Sunday bar.
Okay.
And so it was like an all-you-can-eat Sunday bar for kids and stuff afterward. It was fantastic.
Kids, that's me.
Loved it.
All right. They don't have an age requirement, do they? I would hate that.
No.
All right. Let's go to the satellite picture. We've got the weekend lined up for you visually. So this is really great. Here's some rain coming in today. That's your Friday. Not a ton, but some. Here's nothingness. This is the dry Saturday in between systems. Record tomorrow, 62. We could give it a run for the money. Going to be warm tomorrow afternoon. And then here is Sunday, the final in a series of weak fronts coming in, bringing us again some rain. So here's the push of rain just now starting to arrive into the Oregon coast. Been raining for a while and now marching inland across Long Beach and up into western Washington. In fact, the rain's now all the way getting into the Puget Sound. You can see up to our north. Still looks reasonable to say it's, 7:17 right now. We could be dry at least until the tick of 9 a.m. here in Portland. Futurecast shows it closer to 10 before we get some rain. And then watch this weak system basically dissolve. You're going to see the green colors just break up. Yeah, there they go. So we don't get a ton of rain today, but a scattered shower threat. It comes in later this morning, and then a scattered shower threat, which means you could find a raindrop, will be lingering into this evening. Yesterday was a lot wetter, continued to be, than what I thought. We actually got 38 100ths in the rain gauge out of PDX for your Thursday. Here's the dry Saturday, partly sunny skies, temps giving 60 degrees, a run for the money. Overnight into Sunday morning, that was some rain coming through, and then again, you see it just kind of breaks up, but a scattered shower threat on Sunday will be lingering. So the majority of weather models I've looked at show we get actually less than 5 100ths of an inch in Portland today. So that wouldn't be a lot of measurable rainfall. This particular model is the wettest one. It shows we get a 1/10 and maybe a 1/4 of an inch of rain. This is today along the coast. And clearly the wet part of your day at the beach is what's now starting to pick up. It'll be just widely scattered showers for you this afternoon. We are dry and socked in. That is dense fog out along the Columbia from the Oregon Veterans Home camera. You folks out in the Dalles, you have calm winds. It is above freezing. You're at 41 degrees. I don't really think you get any moisture today. If you end up getting something this afternoon, it would literally just be a trace of rain. 47 in Kelso, 44 in Salem, 55 in Newport, sitting there. 42 in Eugene. Freezing spots, you have to go out to Baker City or Burns, 29 and 26 currently. You folks will be mainly dry today. Here's a look at the valley forecast. 50s, in fact, 57 in Corvallis, southeast winds 5 to 15. Southwest Washington, again, rain amounts a 1/10 of an inch or less. Low 50s here, gusty winds near the gorge to about 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 60. I'm playing golf. I'm excited. I hope you can find something and have the time to do something fun outdoors tomorrow. Sunday, the showers are back right from the get-go, and then we go on a long run of dry weather Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And to Chris McGinnis, I'll show you my golf swing.
Is that how you do 4, Duck? Wait, no. Oh, shoot. All right, we start off, yes, we start off with a max delay, actually. Red and blue lines right now. TriMet reporting an earlier collision involving a MAX train near Providence Park. No word on any injuries on that, but it has cleared. but it is creating some delays, 15 to 20 minutes right now through 8:30 on both the Max Blue and the red lines. All right, let's get you out the door. We'll zoom in first to the Interstate Bridge, the I-5 South commute out of Clark County, zipping right along. It is getting busier, but so far no problems on that side of town. We'll hop on down to Wilsonville, I-5 northbound traffic coming towards your television screen. That looks good as well. So far, we're in pretty good shape on the freeways.
The stakes are raising again for a potential partial government shutdown, with a Senate funding vote hitting a snag overnight. I'm Alice Barr in Washington with the latest details coming up.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Washington has recorded its first pediatric flu-related death this season. A teenager died last week in Snohomish County, north of Seattle. So far, there have been 10 adult flu-related deaths this season in just that one county, and 59 in the state. State health officials say that we are currently in peak flu season and recommend everyone 6 months or older get a yearly flu shot. After President Trump and Democrats signaled that they had a deal last night, senators were unable to pass a spending bill to avoid a partial government shutdown.
And now, even if they vote on agreement tonight, a partial government shutdown for this weekend is unavoidable. NBC's Alice Barr explains why.
Shutdown struggles re-emerging on Capitol Hill as overnight a plan to fast-track a government funding vote hit a snag in the Senate, with at least one senator objecting, just hours after President Trump announced a deal had been reached.
We've gotten along very well. We're working on trying to get it to stay open.
5 sources say the plan was to pass a chunk of government funding while splitting off the Department of Homeland Security and taking 2 weeks to negotiate immigration enforcement reforms Democrats are demanding, including ending roving raids and no agents in masks. Bipartisan lawmakers have signaled a willingness to negotiate.
To make sure that we rein in ICE appropriately and make it more professional.
Congress must stop them.
President Trump overnight appearing to shift course again on his administration's response in Minneapolis, asked if immigration enforcement agents would soon start pulling out.
No, not at all.
That after earlier in the day, his border czar, Tom Homan, said this.
My main focus now is drawdown.
Adding that reducing federal manpower in the city depends on cooperation with state and local law enforcement for more targeted migrant removals, focusing in jails and prisons.
The mission is going to improve.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry in Washington pressing for a full federal pullout and an overhaul of officer conduct as his city reels from this month's deadly shootings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
People can see with their own eyes how the funding for ICE is being utilized right now, and it's not creating safety in our communities, it's causing chaos.
If the Senate does reach a government funding agreement before tonight's midnight shutdown deadline, it still has to go back to the House. And they're not in Washington right now, back early next week. A brief weekend partial shutdown is unlikely to cause major problems, but they'll need to act fast. With transportation funding part of what's on the line, that could mean more airport delays coming. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
President Trump says that he will nominate former Federal Reserve official Kevin Warsh to be the next chair of the Fed. Warsh would replace current chair Jerome Powell when his term expires in May. The Associated Press reports that this could bring the agency closer to the White House and reduce its long-time independence from politics. The appointment will require Senate approval.
Coming up in our next half hour, a former West Lynn doctor now settling a lawsuit with over 170 former patients who accused him of sexual abuse. But before the remaining defendant is set to go to trial, Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz will join us live with the latest. Plus,
we genuinely thought we were going to be murdered.
A Portland couple scared in their own home after a man showed up with a blowtorch and what the residents believe is a gun. Why officers are now investigating the incident as a possible bias crime. When Sunrise continues after this.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Coming up on 7:29 on your Friday morning drive, we start with a TriMet alert. An earlier crash involving a TriMet blue or red line train right now near Providence Park. It's just cleared. However, there are delays, residual delays through about 8:30 on both the blue and the red lines, upwards of 20 minutes. So just be aware of that. All right, getting you out the door of the freeway drive for a Friday morning. We're not doing bad out there. I-5 over the Interstate Bridge. We've got lots of elbow room getting out of Clark County, and a quick check over in the Sunset or Highway 26, that is, coming down the hill into the Vista Ridge Tunnel. No major trouble out there just yet, Rod. We're off to a good start.
Lots of green out there, Chris. Thank you, sir, for the update. We have rain starting to pick up along the coast, especially folks up in Clatsop County, Astoria, and then across the Columbia up into western Washington. But we're dry here in the Willamette Valley so far and up into southwest Washington. There's Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront. Clouds, but good visibility. Temperature not an issue, 48 degrees. Look for some showers to start arriving in the coming couple of hours. We'll be in the 50-degree temperature range this afternoon. Saturday still looks amazing. Tomorrow, partly sunny and 60. Showers return on Sunday.
Good morning. We are taking a live look at the coast right now, courtesy of our Seaside Sky Cam. It's one of our newer ones. What do you call those, waves?
That's what we call them, ripples in the water.
Ripples.
Yeah,
okay.
ripples in the water.
They're not like surfable waves. They're just kind of like cute little things.
Because it's like an opportunity to get out there and
cute little things.
It is a real good opportunity.
Swell.
It's a good opportunity to say there is a sneaker wave warning out for this Sunday and Monday. So remember, don't turn your back to the ocean. Keep your eyes on the water in front of you.
To be clear, Matthew, China grew up in Las Vegas, so it could be.
Not a whole lot of waves out there, yeah.
No, but I can tell you anything you didn't know about a cactus.
About the desert, yeah. There you go.
I love working here with these guys. I really do. Here's a look at our satellite radar actually this morning, showing the rain picking up along the coast. Newport, some light showers have picked up, but there it's more steady now from near Tillamook and then certainly northward up through Cannon Beach, Seaside, Astoria, and up into Long Beach. We're still dry in the valley. We do expect rain later this morning and then a scattered shower threat that will linger. But it's a nice start to your day. It's all dry, cloudy skies, comfortable temperatures, 44 degrees in Salem. There's a view from the top of the Wells Fargo building in downtown Portland, 48 degrees, in fact. We'll be 50 at noon. Once we get our first wave of showers later this morning, again, not a lot of total rain, but the scattered shower threat will linger. I've got us 52 at 5 p.m. Yes, 60 tomorrow. Here's Chris.
Wow. Record high 62, I think, right? All right, let's get you out the door. We start off with a TriMet alert. So an earlier collision involving a MAX train near Providence Park has cleared. However, TriMet telling us that is creating delays right now on both the MAX blue and red lines, upwards of 20 minutes through 8:30. So be aware of that as you make your way out the door. Freeway drive this morning has been uneventful. No major trouble out there. We look at the Interstate Bridge, the I-5 South commute, zipping right along out of Clark County. Highway 26, a little busy coming down the hill from the zoo into the tunnel. But again, no major freeway trouble out there just yet. Matthew, China, we're off to a good start.
Chris, thank you. A former Westland doctor has settled a lawsuit with more than 170 former patients who accused him of sexual abuse.
The remaining defendant will go to trial on Monday. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live now. So Thomas, bring us up to speed on the latest here.
Yeah, well, guys, you may remember Dr. David Farley, who practiced in Westland for 30 years. He also treated patients in nearby hospitals, one of them being Providence. Now, the monetary settlement isn't disclosed here. We don't know what it is, but we do know plaintiffs were seeking more than $1 billion in damages. Even before the settlement, Farley faced widespread accusations of sexual abuse when he abruptly retired in 2020 and moved out of state. The Oregon Medical Board revoked his license that year for dishonorable or unprofessional conduct. Farley is still facing 16 criminal charges, including charges of sexual abuse with a patient who was under the age of 14 when it allegedly occurred. Farley has pled not guilty to these criminal charges. He does have a trial for these charges set for April of 2027. Matthew, China.
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live. Thank you, Thomas. A Portland serial rapist was sentenced to 45 years in prison yesterday. Authorities say Damani Anderson sexually assaulted 5 girls and young women, many of them at gunpoint. Prosecutors add that he met his victims through social media or on dating apps. A reminder, if you or someone you know has experienced sexual assault, know that there is a national hotline. It is open 24/7. That number is 1-800-656-4673.
When they take your truck and trailer, that is your entire livelihood for your family and your employees.
A KGW viewer says a suspected prolific thief we reported on was the same guy who stole his truck and trailer. The suspect, Nicholas Edwards, was arrested earlier this month after officials say he led police on a chase while pulling a stolen trailer across Portland. Prosecutors allege he stole trailers across the area and put them up for sale online. In one case, he's even accused of stealing the same trailer twice. Now, in this particular case, the KGW viewer, who's a local contractor, reached out to us after seeing courtroom video of Edwards and remembering what happened to him in 2023 when a man hit him and stole his truck.
He was within 5 feet of me. I'm standing at the hood of my truck and he's leaning in the steering wheel yelling at me. Pretty easy to see who the guy was. I mean, he hit me right in the chest. That Ford truck, the hood's about that tall. It just knocked me back 10 feet.
Worley has called the DA to report the incident. Prosecutors say that's not the only call they've received, and they're working to see if the cases are connected.
Now to some uplifting news. A national moving survey shows Oregon was among the top states people moved to in 2025.
United Van Lines just released its 49th annual National Mover Study, and the Beaver State sits at number 1. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us to break down that survey. Corey.
Yeah, good morning, Matthew. China, that's right. Oregon is ranked number 1 in that study. Now, United Van Lines, it's a multi-state moving company, and they found that 65% of people who moved last year nationwide across the country came here to the Beaver State. Now, so where in the state exactly did the majority of those people who moved call home? Now, they picked Eugene Springfield. That was listed as the top destination metro in the region, with 85% opting for the city. Also, the majority of the people who came here relocated from California, with others coming from Washington, Texas, Colorado, and Montana. Now, makers of the study say Oregon has routinely shown up among the top 10 states on their national movers list over the last decade, but this is the highest ranking since before the pandemic. And we also asked them what's drawing people here in particular.
Oregon has emerged as the leading inbound destination for job seekers this year, really seeing those opportunities in the growing tech fields and healthcare fields. We're seeing in like Eugene Springfield specifically, it has a little lower cost of living, which makes it really attractive.
Now, other states that round out that national top 10 list for 2025 include West Virginia, South Carolina, and Delaware. Now, coming up, we break down more of the study and its findings, but we also talk about tourism and how it's playing a role in whether people decide to call Oregon their home. Back to you.
Corey Johnson reporting live. Corey, thank you. But there's some good news this morning for a struggling Portland restaurant. Dan and Louie Oyster Bar says that business has bounced back after they were worried late last year that they'd have to close.
It's worth noting, though, that they appealed to us and other media outlets at this time last year and received quite a bit of coverage. Owner Michelle Watchmus says that Portlanders have shown a lot of support since then. And she adds when the Paris Theater reopened in Old Town, foot traffic came back.
We are happy to see any business, even a restaurant next door, do well, because when one does well, we all do well down here.
Watchmuth is also hoping that the nearby Saturday market will expand once again to Sundays.
It's 7:37. Time for another check of the weather. A little soggy today, but tomorrow's going to be great, Rod.
Yeah, a little bit of rain coming in today, and tomorrow, to Matthew's point, no rain chance. We've been talking about this. We had a high of 59. Now we're forecasting 60. The record tomorrow is 62. Tomorrow's the day in between. We get some rain today. We get some rain again on Sunday. Right now, the rain's certainly picking up along our north coast. Been raining for a while up in western Washington. Here's a closer zip along Highway 30, Katlammet. In the Claskanine, the rain is just off to your west at this point. Still looks like you see the rain in Seaside and Cannon Beach. Good chance that Portland will be dry for about another hour and a half. Here's the Chehalem tasting room camera, what I like to call the barn camera there in the vineyard. Pretty morning, just cloudy out there, all quiet, and temperature is mighty nice, 45 out there. It's also 45 in Gresham. We do have east winds still blowing, gusting to about 30 this morning out near the gorge at the airport in Troutdale. Away from that, winds are mainly light. 44 in our capital city and also 44 in Almsville. Willie is our KGW pet of the day on this Friday, January 30th. And I'm told Willie has a 10-year-old human brother. I love this little story. And they watch the 6 o'clock hour of our show every morning. Say, brother gets ready for school. Willie, I think, stays home. All right, there's the email address, petoftheday@kgw.com. All right, this afternoon, the biggest push of rain is what's now starting to hit the coast. So you folks will be much drier this afternoon along the beach, but a scattered shower threat will continue. Mainly dry but overcast in Bend, 54, and mainly dry with some thinning cloud cover in 40s out across the eastern part of our state. 7-day forecast, 53 today. Not much total rain. Tomorrow, there it is, 60, partly sunny. Showers return first thing Sunday morning, and then after that, we're all dry on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 38 100th of an inch of rainfall in the gauge yesterday, by the way. Here's Chris.
That an overperformer, right? All right, let's get you out the door. We start off with a TriMet alert because of an earlier collision involving a MAX train near Providence Park. The crash is cleared. However, TriMet's saying that the MAX blue and red lines are running on delays of 15 to 20 minutes through about 8:30. So be aware of that as you make your way out the door. Just a quick check of the Banfield, Interstate 84 zipping right along in from the Gateway District. No problems on that side of town. There's I-5 near the 205 interchange in Tualatin. That too looks pretty good. Our Friday morning drive volume is a little lighter than Monday through Thursday, at least at this hour, and that's reflecting itself in the drive times. We're in really good shape. There is a little bit of slowing coming down the hill from the zoo, but other than that, guys, no major trouble out there just yet.
Chris, thank you. Still to come on Sunrise, Olympic downhill skier Lindsey Vonn crashing in her final downhill race just 7 days out from the Winter Olympics. The latest on that story, plus more Olympic headlines, coming up when Sunrise continues in just 2 minutes.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, here is the countdown to the Olympic Games opening ceremony just 1 week from today as we get ready for all of the competition. And we do have an update on a local athlete who made waves in the Summer Olympics. Vancouver gymnast Jordan Childs has won a major battle in her fight to keep her bronze medal from the floor exercise. Now, you might remember the Court of Arbitration for Sport revoked her medal at the 2024 Paris Games due to her coach's scoring inquiry, which they say was made outside of the 1-minute timeline. Childs' team, however, says they have video evidence that her inquiry was made in time. Yesterday, the Swiss Federal Tribunal granted her appeal, saying the video evidence deserves review. The Associated Press reporting it will take at least a year before a verdict is ready.
And one of the expected stars of the Winter Olympics is now facing uncertainty, getting ready for her skiing comeback. Lindsey Vonn crashed this morning in her final downhill race before the games start next week. The Associated Press saying that she lost control when landing and a jump and was left limping to the medical tent. The race was later canceled after 3 of the first 6 racers crashed. Meantime, Elana Meyers Taylor has another Olympic run in sight. She is chasing history again.
Yeah, redefining longevity and what's possible in the final stretch of an iconic Olympic journey. Cheryl Preheim has her story.
An explosive push of the sled, piling in, then speeds topping 80 miles an hour.
It feels like I'm flying. It feels like I'm just gliding and everything feels right.
For Elana Meyers Taylor, knowing each ride brings the final run closer changes things.
I can't put into words what my entire career has looked like.
Olympic competition has been part of her life for nearly 20 years.
It'll be interesting after these games to have that kind of reflection and be able to look back and see what's really happened.
With 5 medals, she is the most decorated Black Winter Olympian in history.
That's a wild statistic, and one I never thought I'd even accomplish. Like when I started bobsledding, I thought, hey, I'd win an Olympic medal and then I'd be out and then be done. So to have this career now and to be up there with so many accomplished Olympians and to have this statistic behind it, it's incredible.
Milan Cortina would be her 5th Winter Games in a sport where she's set the standard and shattered barriers as a woman, elite athlete, and mom.
Having 2 kids on the road in Europe for 6 months is pretty insane, but they're right there with me. They're my biggest motivators, to have them by my side and to see me day in and day out doing what I'm doing. It's just the coolest experience.
Both her sons are deaf. Her oldest, Nico, has Down syndrome.
I want them to see their mom and know that she continued to chase her dreams despite any obstacles we have.
Now, advocacy is a role just as important as Olympian.
Like, I've got this really strong passion for disability, so if I can combine my love of the Olympics and Paralympics with advocating for people with disabilities too, then that would be the dream.
Elana Meyers Taylor is also redefining longevity in elite competition.
Happy birthday to you.
She recently turned 41.
For so long it's thought, women peak in their 20s, or maybe they peak in their 30s, or who knows, maybe it's 40. I'm hoping it's 41.
She sees her experience as an edge.
It gives me a lot of confidence going into these games in particular.
You could say Milan Cortina is a bonus Olympics. Elana almost retired after Beijing, but felt the draw back to the track with big goals.
I think the only goal you could set is 2 gold medals. I'm going to do everything I can to make it possible.
And we want to celebrate your favorite local coaches during the Olympics. Just go to kgw.com/thankyoucoach to share your story and nominate a leader who's made a difference in you or your kids' lives. Make sure to send in your submissions by Sunday, February 1st. We will highlight a new coach every morning on our Sunrise Show.
I'm never going to live.
I will never read that script the same in my life.
For those of you who are just joining or have no idea what we're talking about, yesterday I read that script very confident that the word was couch.
Yes.
And so I read, we want to shout out your favorite couch, and I was really confused.
For all the couch potatoes out there, that's a thing, right? Your favorite couch.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's
a thing.
It's important.
It's not like I read for a living or anything.
East winds, good grief. Imagine this, guys. I don't think any of us live out near Troutdale. It's now been 14 solid days of east winds. Generally, there's one day that could be an exception. The observation was missing. But other than that, 14 straight days of winds at least gusting to 30 every single day from the east. And this run started when it was gusting to 50 plus for a couple of days. That's a long run. I get it. The wind should be lighter out there tomorrow as we get into our big warm-up for your Saturday. But here's a wind report right now. East gust to 23. Earlier this morning, they were bouncing up to 30 miles per hour. So, I mean, it's not as strong as it was last week, but I know it's got to be getting old. Here's the south winds. Right now, there's a spike up to 30 in Newport. That's kept you folks in the 50s this morning, by the way, down there in Lincoln County. Here's our first weather system. This one brings us some rain inland today. There's a break in between. That's a dry Saturday. There's one final weak front in the series that will bring some rain inland on Sunday. Here's where we are right now. Rain has marched inland to Chehalis, up into Seattle. It's taking a little bit to really push inland along the Oregon coast. Here it is on radar. We do have some rain that's going to be moving into Longview here in the not too distant future. There's Longview, Clascanine, you're still mainly dry. Cathlamet there up Highway 30, the rain's starting to move in to your area. Portland, I still expect us to be dry through at least 9 o'clock, so only about, an hour and 11 minutes away at this point. Here we are at 10, and then notice that moves through and then it breaks into scattered showers. Not a lot of total rain today, but a scattered shower threat will linger into tonight. All right, futurecast tomorrow, all dry. That's still a potentially 60-degree day. That's tomorrow. And then overnight into early Sunday morning, there comes some rain, and then that breaks into scattered showers for your Sunday. Here's a look at the Dows, getting back to our gorge theme, really socked in with fog there near the dam, looking down from the Oregon Veterans Home. 41 degrees is your temperature. You folks probably stay dry today. I can't tell you there won't be a trace of moisture this afternoon, but you probably stay dry. 48 in Portland, 44 in Salem, 47 up in Kelso, raining up in Seattle currently in 45. Let's get back to the gorge. My featured region right now, 50 in Hood River today. If you get that warm, it's been a while since you've been up to 50. Cloudy skies, afternoon shower threat here. The east winds 10 to 20 with some gusts to 30 miles per hour continuing. Here's our valley forecast. Mid-50s again in Salem, Corvallis, McMinnville. South winds 5 to 15. Portland has not made it to 50 because of the cooling influence of the wind out of the gorge the last 2 days. We'll see if we can do it today, 53. Tomorrow, all dry, 60, 61 expected, and then 51 degrees on Sunday. And then we've got that dry run next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And that is your update for now. Here's Chris.
Thanks for that. We pick it up with that TriMet alert again because of an earlier collision involving a MAX train near Providence Park. The crash is clear, but TriMet telling us that there are delays upwards of 15 to 20 minutes on both the MAX Blue and red lines through 8:30. So be aware of that as you make your way out the door. Quick check at the freeways. Banfield right there. Speaking of the MAX, there goes one of the MAX trains. Your westbound I-84 commute looks pretty good. 205 over the Abernathy Bridge, wide open right now between Oregon City and West Lynn. And as we zip out to the west side on the Sunset, inbound Highway 26, running a little thick from Murray to 217. But again, all of this pretty normal stuff out there. Easy breezy on the freeway so far, China. No major trouble out there just yet.
Thank you, Chris.
As I'm recording, he puts the torch back into his pocket and he gets what I, in the moment, and I still believe was a handgun.
A Portland couple scared to stay in their own home after a man showed up at their doorstep with a blowtorch and what the residents believe is a gun. Why police are now looking at this as a possible bias crime, coming up when Sunrise continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Portland police are investigating a possible bias crime after someone took a blowtorch to a door and left behind a hateful message.
It appears an interracial couple, an LGBTQ plus couple, was targeted in the incident. Celine Stevens spoke with one of the victims.
We genuinely thought we were going to be murdered.
Tuesday night, a couple was settling down for the evening when they heard banging on their apartment door in Northwest Portland.
As I went to look in the peephole, he was like wrestling almost with the door handle, like he was trying to aggressively open the door repeatedly and kept knocking really aggressively.
On the other side of the door was this man, seen in this video, recorded by the tenant who wishes to remain anonymous. He says he called apartment security, but when the banging continued about 10 minutes later, the same person had something in his hand.
But it kind of looked like you could see flames, and so I was like, whoa, maybe that's a torch. And then as I'm recording, he puts the torch back into his pocket, and he gets what I, in the moment, and I still believe, was a handgun.
He says he called 911 and hid with his partner in the apartment. The suspect eventually left, and feeling unsafe, so did the couple. When they went outside, they noticed the door was burnt and a message written on the door.
By the time we went in the hallway was when we were leaving the apartment and locking the door behind us, and that's when we saw the whites only.
According to Portland police, when they arrived, they saw a man matching the suspect description, but they didn't have probable cause for an arrest.
It's just insane that he thinks he can get away with it, and if we let him get away with it, then he was right, and he didn't have anything to fear.
Officers searched for him again later that night, but were not able to find him, and it's now being investigated as a possible bias crime.
We're actually an interracial couple. I'm white and my partner's Latino, and we're also we're both part of the LGBTQ community. I think that has a lot to do with it. Racism is something that they're used to, but they are just they just really can't process any of this. It's very traumatic.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Now to a grand opening for a new women's overnight shelter in Northwest Portland. Bethany's Room is near Northwest 17th and Lovejoy, and it's owned and operated by Blanchet House. The shelter is named in honor of a former Blanchet House diner who died while homeless.
At the time of Bethany's death, there were no women's overnight shelters in downtown Portland. So after she passed, we knew we had to build a shelter to house women overnight so that they're not on the streets throughout the night.
The shelter opens to the public on Monday, February 9th, and will operate from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. daily, and will have space for up to 75 women. Coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with a nationwide strike calling everyone from business owners to students to stand up against ICE.
That's right. Who's closing their doors and walking out later today? It's 7:56. We'll see you at the top of the hour.